Welcome back to St. Louis. Time to join the third member of our team on the sidelines this afternoon, Christina Pink.
Thanks a lot, Gus. Well, it's no secret that both of these defenses want to come out here, load the box, and try to stop the run. So it's up to these two quarterbacks to take advantage. I talked to Sam Bradford before the game. He told me, I'm going to stick to my game plan, trying to get completions on first and second down, so that way I'm dealing with third and manageable. Christian Ponder told me I have to play aggressive, utilize the play action. And he also said I have two very good tight ends who expect to get the ball a little bit more today, Gus.
All right, thank you very much, Christina. Minnesota won the toss. They have deferred. As you take a look at the series note, these two teams meeting for the first time since 2009 when they met right here in St. Louis. For the Vikings, they're coming off that 21-14 win against the Chicago Bears at home. Leslie Frazier coaching against his former teammate today, Jeff Fisher, on the other sideline. They were both members of the 1985 Chicago Bears Super Bowl team. Fisher inactive for that game. Frazier injuring his knee in the game, which virtually ended his career. Jeff Fisher's St. Louis Rams, winners of 3 in a row, looking for their 4th straight win, making it 4 in a row for the first time since 2006. Chris Gibbons back deep. Blair Walsh will send it away for Minnesota. Both these teams in the playoff hunt. A win today, paramount. And Gibbons will bring it out of the end zone. Cross the 10 and get up to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Robert Blanton with the tackle on special teams. So let's take a look at the impact players.
The Rams welcome back Danny Amendola, their slot receiver who gives them presence in the passing game. Les Kendricks does it all at tight end, fullback. For Minnesota on defense, Harrison Smith's having a terrific rookie season at safety. Had an interception return for a touchdown against Chicago last week. And Jasper Brinkley, number 54, provides some thump in the middle. Expect him to meet Steven Jackson on a number of running plays this afternoon.
So Sam Bradford, in his 3rd year out of Oklahoma, Heisman Trophy winner, Offensive Rookie of the Year. His first season, he'll throw on first down. Jackson with the screen in the running room. And Jackson picks up the first down. He'll get about 11. LaTroy Guyon with the tackle. Last week against the Bills, Sam Bradford, 19 of 39, 209 yards, a touchdown, and interception. He was sacked once, but his 13-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Gibson with 48 seconds left won the football game for them.
86-yard drive to win the game. Sam Bradford has a lot of poise and maturity for a youngster. Doesn't get rattled at all, and is really, really strong in 4th quarters.
Strong arm, accurate passer. 1st and 10 of the 23. Here's Jackson running over the right side, and Jackson comes into this game 71 yards away from 10,000. Jasper Brinkley with the tackle at middle linebacker.
And expect, as we've noted, to see a lot of Steven Jackson today, carrying the football, catching it out of the backfield. They want to possess the football and win time of possession today. The more times they have it, the longer they have it. That means that number 28 in white, Adrian Peterson, doesn't touch it. That's the Rams' game plan, and they want to slow down the excellent pass rush of Minnesota. Expect a lot of screens, draws, and swing passes to keep them moving and chasing.
2nd down and 10 at the 23. Play fake. Bradford sets up. He's got his tight end, but he's sacked. Great pressure being applied by the Minnesota Vikings. Jared Allen there, as well as Brian Robinson.
This is exactly what you're worried about when you're dealing with the Vikings. Their defensive ends, Allen, number 69, Robinson, number 96. Bookend on the play and end up meeting at the quarterback. Robinson forces him to step up. Allen's also on the scene. They want to slow down that pass rush, but when they're given an opportunity for free access to the quarterback, the Vikings will take it every time.
Bradford has now been sacked in 30 straight games. A loss of 8 on the play. 3rd and 18. Here's Bradford. He'll drop it off to Jackson, and Jackson unable to make the catch. So St. Louis will be forced to punt it away.
And right away, the advantage goes to Minnesota. Got off the field, gave up an initial good-looking play to St. Louis. After that, put the clamps down. Should get good field position and have a chance to go to work with number 28, Adrian Peterson.
Johnny Hecker will punt it away. Signed as an undrafted rookie free agent in 2012. Last week against the Bills, punted 8 times, averaging 38 yards per punt with a long of 50. He's standing at his goal line. Marcus Sherrill's back deep. And he drives his punt. Sherrill from the 40-yard line. And Sherrill's trying to squirt through. And he'll cross the midfield mark and get to the St. Louis 45. A 44-yard punt, a 14-yard return. So coming up, he's agile, mobile, and quite often hostile. The great Adrian Peterson next on Fox. Welcome back. Adrian Peterson last week against the Bears rushed for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 51-yard run on his first touch. Christian Ponder on the play-action fake, and Ponder has his tight end, Kyle Rudolph, for a terrific gain on first down, and that'll bring us to our impact players, 14-yard reception.
And Kyle Rudolph is one of our impact players. They have to throw to the tight ends more today. Christina Pink talked about that at the top of the show. Jerome Felton has become a terrific lead back for Adrian Peterson, provides a lot of smash to the dash of Peterson. James Laurinaitis in the middle controls things, and Jolon Dunbar is having a terrific season. Neither one of those linebackers comes off the field for the St. Louis defense.
First down and 10 at the 31. Here's Ponder giving it to Peterson. Peterson gets outside, lowers his shoulder, and delivers a blow. So you know that this Vikings team is going to run the football with Adrian Peterson. But the big question surrounding the Vikings, their quarterback. Christian Ponder in his second year out of Florida State, first-round pick in 11, 12th overall, and he's had an up-and-down season, CD.
Came out of the gate very strong, played very well during their 5-2 start. Has had his bumps, as you've noted recently. 3 out of the last 7 games, has not reached 100 yards passing, but a lot of that is by design with Minnesota now, running the ball so effectively with Peterson.
Second down and 6. Here's Ponder to throw it. Rolls out. Ponder lets it go, and it's caught. Beautiful reception in traffic by Jerome Simpson.
2 things come to mind immediately. Watch Jerome Simpson. They're showing heavy run, and they sneak in a wide receiver at a tight end position. So they're trying to show him run and then hit him with the pass. 2 things. 1, fortunate to sneak it in between Dahl and Janoris Jenkins. But 2, Jerome Simpson with a big-time catch. Had trouble catching the football against Chicago a few weeks ago.
16th catch of the year for Simpson. He's averaging 12 yards a grab. First down and 10 at the 16. Peterson. And he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage and ridden down. William Hayes. Johnny on the spot. And this Rams rushing defense shined last week. St. Louis is coming off a defensive effort against Buffalo, which limited one of the NFL's top rushing attacks to 61 yards on 20 carries.
For the season, they've given up 2 100-yard rushing games to players this year. That's it. So they've been pretty strong. Terry Bradshaw on the pregame show predicted the Rams would keep Adrian Peterson from getting to 100 today.
Here's Peterson running right. No room. Hayes there once again for the Rams. Jeff Fisher has brought back the excitement to St. Louis. 6-6-1 record.
And watch how this play gets stacked up. The defensive front, number 95 in blue, William Hayes, is having a terrific year. He's been a backup most of the year, but he plays a lot in their nickel packages, can play inside, can play defensive end. And when coaches go to new programs, they like to bring players they trust. William Hayes was a trusted player for Jeff Fisher in Tennessee.
So a third down and 14 at the 20. They need to go to the 5 for first down. Ponder on the shotgun. Toby Gerhart, the former Stanford Cardinal, in the backfield. Underneath, and the ball caught. Burton, and he'll get close to the first down. Stephen Burton, second year out of West Texas A&M. So an early decision for Leslie Frazier and the Vikings.
And the way that they've been running the football with the confidence of the offensive line, the extra tight ends, I don't think this is a decision. You bring 28 on the field, and even though everyone knows it's coming, you run it anyway, and you go and try and get it.
Fourth down and 1. Peterson, the deep back. Jerome Felton, the up back. Here's Adrian Peterson. No, Ponder rolling. Looking for the first down. He can go. Ponder, and he may have it, but a flag on the play. And Minnesota says it's against St. Louis.
Could have gotten a hold in the secondary when they got fooled on the play fake. You know, everyone was loaded up for the run, and when a guy escapes on you and you think it's a run, you reach out and grab initially.
Al Riveron, your referee this afternoon.
Holding number 51 defense. Half the distance of the goal from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's 10-year veteran Mario Hagan.
I think what happens is when you show heavy run, Gus, and a guy leaks out on you on a pass play, your first move is a little bit of temporary panic, and you reach out and grab the guy, try and let him get out into the route. The officials detected it.
First down and goal to the 2-yard line. Adrian Peterson, the single setback. Ellison in motion. Here's AD. Oh, and he is gobbled up by Chris Long. Our colleague Howie Long is in the studio right now in LA, and you know he's tuned into this game, and he should be happy. His baby boy having a terrific year.
Just came right out of his seat, and now he's going right into the backfield with him.
It's funny, we see Howie in LA all the time, and recently we saw Chris when his brother, who plays at Oregon, was taking on USC. Chris Long, diminutive compared to Dad. Second down and goal at the 4.
Plays with the same motor, though.
Peterson again loses an edge and goes down behind the line of scrimmage.
He saw the cutback early, and as you described it, like a skier, lost the edge, slipped over on his foot, wasn't unable to make the cut on the backside.
So that'll make it third down and goal at the 5. Peterson, his last 4 rushes, negative yards.
Vikings have tried to establish tight ends early in this game. There's Kyle Rudolph.
Trips at the bottom of your screen. Simpson, the receiver, at the top of your screen. Ponder steps up. Ponder still running. Ponder, dodge, touchdown, Vikings. What a play for the young quarterback.
And this is the type of a play that can get a struggling quarterback going. This can get him back in sync. Watch as he gets the rush. There's Robert Quinn, 94. Goes right over the top, and then Ponder shows his athletic ability. Keeps his presence, doesn't force anything, sees the gap, and dives into the end zone for the initial score of the game.
Second rushing touchdown of the year for Christian Ponder. And Minnesota takes the early lead. Extra point up by Blair Walsh, and good. 7-0 Minnesota. Christian Ponder showing his athleticism. Here comes Steven Jackson and company right after this. Minnesota takes the ball on their opening drive, going 10 plays, 45 yards, eating up 5:38. Christian Ponder perfect on the drive despite Adrian Peterson 5 carries for -3 yards. And this one tipped out of the end zone and a touchback. So here comes Steven Jackson, hunting for 10,000 yards, joined by Sam Bradford. Let's see if the St. Louis Rams can respond right after this. Welcome back, 7-0 Minnesota as St. Louis takes over, and the Rams coming off that 15-12 win at Buffalo. Bradford engineering the 84-yard fourth quarter drive as he hit Randy Gibson with a 13-yard touchdown pass with 48 seconds left. Won their 3rd in a row, something they hadn't done since 2006. First down and 10 at the 20. Bradford over the middle, and it's caught. Danny Amendola returning, great target. And Amendola missed the last 2 with a heel and foot injury. And those scrappy Texas Tech Red Raider type wide receiver.
You think about the production you get from a Danny Amendola, look at the with and the without, and you see how impressive that is for him. Wes Welker, another one of those scrappy Texas Tech slot receivers doing well in the NFL.
Now Jackson with a lot of running room. Here's Steven Jackson. Woo! plowing his way to the 41. A 13-yard gain. Josh Robinson threw himself under the chariot.
Coming right at you, folks. Breaks through one, and look at the impact, and then watch how he falls forward, spinning, twisting, finishing the runs, moving forward. Steven Jackson at his best.
And as you mentioned, you just don't realize how big Steven Jackson is. 6'2", 240 pounds with speed to burn. They'll give it to him again, and here's Jackson high-stepping into Minnesota territory. Stanford with the tackle, but it's a gain of 15. So a gain of 13 and the gain of 15 last two plays.
And watch where everything happens. This offensive line, see how they moved everyone? Look at that gap there for Steven Jackson to come through because it's being controlled on the backside. Lance Kendricks, the tight end, number 88, controlled the backside end and let that hole become a big one for Steven Jackson.
Viking down, back after this. Thought that in 2004 when the Rams drafted this man with the 24th pick in the draft, that 9 years later he will be closing in on 10,000 yards.
You always wonder about that because the shelf life of a running back is what, 2-3 years for the most in terms of average. Steven Jackson, 9 years in this league.
Here's Bradford in trouble. Bradford under all sorts of pressure. Everson Griffin right in his face as he knocks him to the turf. So that brings up 2nd down and 10. Steven Jackson back in for St. Louis. Jackson, the Rams' all-time leading rusher. 2nd down and 10 of the 44. Bradford short drop this time to the sideline and incomplete, intended for Chris Gibbons. Now let's go to Los Angeles where Kurt Menefee is standing by for a game break.
All right, Kirk Cousins making his first NFL start in place of the injured RG3. This doesn't help. Tip pass right to the hands of Cleveland's TJ Ward. He takes it back 36 yards, set up a Trent Richardson touchdown. And right now the Browns out for their 4th straight win, up 7-0 early on. Gus and Charles.
And the guy you need to keep an eye out for today, Curtin, guys, is Brandon Whedon on the other side, is quietly playing well as the Browns are playing well down the home stretch.
You just get the feeling that they're going to turn that thing around in Cleveland.
New ownership. We'll see what they decide to do at the end of the year in terms of true front office, head coach. But the Browns team is getting better, and they're no longer an easy out.
3rd down and 10 at the 44. Jackson splits wide to the top of your screen. Empty backfield for Bradford. Going to give him time underneath. They find Gibson. And a flag on the play at midfield.
And I think it's going to be a hold because Jared Allen was applying the pressure in the backfield.
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Jared Allen, 4-time All-Pro.
Right here is Roger Saffold, left tackle. Jared Allen opposite him. Watch them work. Chips out on him, and look at that good right-handed takedown. He actually got out of, he got a little off balance, and his hand got caught with Jared Allen, affecting the takedown. Jared Allen puts that kind of pressure on offensive linemen every snap.
Jared Allen with the team-leading 9 sacks and 27 quarterback hits coming into this game. 3rd and 20. At the 46, Bradford to throw it over the middle, caught by Richardson. And Darrell Richardson slung down. Chad Greenway, the outside linebacker, with the tackle.
And you see the effect of the holding penalty. Put them way behind the chains, 3rd and 20. And then the Vikings are able to go with their vaunted Tampa 2 defense. Keep everything in front. Force Bradford to the check down. Rallied to the ball, made the tackle. Forced another punt.
Johnny Hecker standing at the 38. Marcus Sherrills inside his own 10. End over end kick. And it dies right inside the 10-yard line. Terrific punt by Johnny Hecker, 40 yards. Minnesota backed up, leading 7-zip. We told you this is an important game for both these teams. Here's a look at the playoff picture.
take a look, Atlanta already has clinched a divisional championship. San Francisco, a big one tonight against New England. Green Bay and Chicago going at it. Chicago in a wild card spot now, and the Giants are the ones visiting Atlanta, which could be a statement game for the Falcons. And right now, the Rams and the Vikings trying to win today in what could be an elimination-style game for one of them.
On first down, Adrian Peterson with running room this time as he pushes the pile forward and gets close to the 15. Now, Minnesota has the toughest schedule remaining in the NFL based on opponents' one-loss records entering this weekend's play, taking on St. Louis. Then next week, they're at Houston, and they'll wrap up their season at home against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, if they get in, they've earned their way, haven't they? There's no fooling around with that schedule. We talk about two potential division champions down the stretch that they might have to play. Not might, they will play.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 at the 14. Ponder in the shotgun. Underneath, quick strike. John Carlson held on to the football. He took a lick, but picks up the first down at the 20-yard line. Quentin Michael delivering a hit.
At the top of the show, Christina Pink talked about these quarterbacks. We mentioned the running backs and their impact on the game. She talked about what the quarterbacks would have to do to have an effect on today's game. And she mentioned that Christian Ponder would be looking more for his tight ends today. Already, we've got Kyle Rudolph involved, and we've got John Carlson involved, both of them.
First down and 10 at the 21. Peterson bounces it outside, can't turn the corner. He is gobbled up. Janoris Jenkins, the right corner. Terrific job defensively.
How about the quickness of Janoris Jenkins to recognize and take on Adrian Peterson? This is Jenkins out here. Watch how he stays square with the line of scrimmage, doesn't get sucked inside, stays parallel, sees the play, wraps him up, and takes him down. Essentially a one-on-one tackle in open field against Adrian Peterson. Well done by the rookie from North Alabama.
Peterson trying to get started, running now, and Adrian Peterson hopping through the hole, gets to the 26 and 8-yard gain as James Laurinaitis makes the tackle. Here's Kurt Menefee for game break.
Well, on the verge of wrapping up home field throughout the playoffs, the Falcons off to a good start against the Giants. Matt Ryan and Tony Gonzalez hook up for a 12-yard score. Atlanta's had the ball twice on offense, scored touchdowns each time. They lead at 14-0. Gus, Charles, and Christina.
All right, Tony Gonzalez, the former Cal power forward, can still get up and jam that thing through.
We saw Aaron Andrews interviewing Tony and Matt Ryan and Mike Smith, and they know the pressure on them. They've got to win today and show the league that they are ready to go for the playoffs.
Rams defense trying to get off the field. Incomplete. Ponder under heavy pressure. Jerome Simpson, the intended receiver.
And you know what was exciting for St. Louis about that defensive series? Is they did exactly what their game plan called for. Get the ball out of the hands of Adrian Peterson and put it in the hands of Christian Ponder and make him beat you on third down. Not able to get it done, the Rams get off the field. A good defensive series for St. Louis.
That brings on Chris Kluwe to punt. He stands at the 12-yard line, got more attention this week for wearing a patch promoting Ray Guy in the Hall of Fame. And then ensuing a league fine of over $5,000. Coaches wanted the punt and hold, and that's it. Meanwhile, Amendola, tricky, will get out of bounds at the 27. 49-yard punt, 2-yard return. Here comes Jared Allen, the Cowboy. One thing for sure, he knows how to get to the quarterback. All right, on January 4th, one of the best bowl games of the year is on Fox. His Heisman Trophy winner and one of the most talked about players in the country, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, leads 9th-ranked Texas A&M against the 11th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. The AT&T Cotton Bowl Classic is January 4th, only on Fox.
That's about as good as it's going to get come bowl season. And speaking of Oklahoma Sooners, there's Adrian Peterson, nickname All Day. And right now the Rams are letting him know that they plan to be in front of him all day, limiting his running. Makes you almost wonder, did Eric Dickerson break off a call to the Rams defense and say, you know, I heard AD say he wants my record. I don't want to give up my record. Fellas, are you there for me?
Peterson, though, slow start, 8 carries, 8 yards.
Thing about him is we all know, and we know this about Minnesota. You see Chris Long, who's going to put in a full day of work too. Minnesota will stay committed to running the football. They won't be daunted by the early returns of 8 runs, 8 yards. They will continue to press it, and we all have seen how many times where it's been one play away from him breaking it big. That's Bill Musgrave in the foreground on the headset, the offensive coordinator.
So with 1:15 remaining, only 8 yards rushing for Adrian Peterson. Last week against the Bears, he had 104 yards rushing in the first quarter alone. First down and 10 at the 27. The St. Louis offense looking to find a rhythm. Steven Jackson, they'll make that Daryl Richardson, gets to the 30.
Richardson's a 7th round pick out of Abilene Christian. And also they picked Isaiah Peed in the early rounds, a running back out of Cincinnati, and many thought he would be the number 2 back. But in the preseason, Daryl Richardson beat him out. And it wasn't just because he was running against lesser competition. They started using him in the same spots they'd used Peed, and the production was better from Richardson.
2nd and 7 at the 30-yard line. Bradford. Wow, beautiful strike. Gibson across the middle, gaining 15.
What did Sam Bradford tell us about Brandon Gibson when we met with him at the Rams facility? That he trusts him. That he's the guy that he has a lot of trust in. He's been with him since his rookie year. People keep trying to replace Brandon Gibson, but he and Sam Bradford are starting to put it together to where they have that quarterback-receiver telepathy, and it really came to a cropper last week in Buffalo with the game-winning touchdown.
6 catches for a career-high 100 yards for Gibson. Now Jackson weaving his way through the Vikings defense, and he gets inside Minnesota territory, and that's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Vikings 7, the Rams nothing. The Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages from your local Fox station. Start of the second quarter. St. Louis trailing by 7 on their home field. 2nd down and 4 at the 49. Out of the offset eye. They fake it to Jackson. Bradford to the sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Brandon Gibson once again. Now let's go downstairs to Christina Payton.
Hey, Gus, Everson Griffin in there at defensive end in place of Brian Robinson. He came off on that last defensive series, came off on his own accord, but headed straight to the locker room. He has an injured right shoulder and is questionable to return.
Thank you, Christina.
Changes their rotation because Griffin is a guy that they like to use on in the nickel situation, move him inside for pass rush, sometimes stand him up as an outside linebacker. Now have to go to full-time duty at defensive end.
3rd down and 4 at the 49. Amendola in motion. Looks that way, caught. First down. Danny Amendola in front of A.J. Jefferson.
Well thrown football by Sam Bradford. The last pass to Brandon Gibson is one of the few times you'll see an inaccuracy from Sam Bradford in terms of where the ball should be placed. He threw it too far inside, made Gibson have to turn all the way around. After that last play, Steven Jackson got fired up with Aaron Henderson of the Vikings. Don't be surprised if Jackson carries it here.
Hey, alert, alert. Alert, alert.
Bradford rolling, looking backside. Caught, beautiful play. Chris Gibbons, a gain of 22. That looked like an old John Elway Denver Broncos play.
You talk about that misdirection, right? Because the flow is going to go there, and Bradford comes this way, but then he comes back to it. Look at Gibbons with the space cleared because Gibson, number 11, goes downfield and takes 2 defenders with him. Gibbons from across the field, wide open. Bradford sticks it right on the 1 and the 3.
It looks like the player down, Mistral Raymond, and a flag on the play as well.
There are 2 fouls on the play, and they're both going to offset at the spot. Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, number 11. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 41. Those fouls will offset at the dead ball spot. First down.
That's Gibson from St. Louis and Raymond from Minnesota.
See, Gibson took the shot on the backside from Raymond at the end of the play, and he's looking for a flag, and he's upset. So the taunt must have come, and there it is, over the top of Raymond, who got hurt on the play. And when you're doing it right in front of the side judge, Jimmy DeBell, it's pretty easy to throw a flag. He's right there.
Raymond limping off the field. First down at 10 of the 20 for St. Louis. Power formation. Jackson lowers his shoulder. Chad Greenway, first man to him. Busy day for Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. Let's join him again for a game break.
All right, the Redskins bouncing back after the early Kirk Cousins interception. Cousins throws a touchdown, looking up at Menet Hankerson. 54 yards on the score, evens it at 7. Third touchdown pass of Cousins' rookie season. Dustin Charles.
And a lot was said when they drafted Cousins the same year they drafted RG3.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, why would you do that? Has anyone checked the stats for starting quarterbacks and making 16 starts? A good backup is key for any team who wants to make noise late.
On second down, Bradford standing strong in the pocket, and he finds Brandon Gibson again for an 11-yard gain. Gibson having a great first half.
Love your description about how Bradford stood in the pocket there, partner. Strong. Because Jared Allen was bearing down on him, trying to walk Roger Saffold back into his line of sight. Stood in there and delivered. And Gibson continues to develop at wide receiver, trying to assume the true identity of being a #1 go-to guy for his quarterback, Sam Bradford.
Out of West Texas A&M, first down and goal at the 4. Bradford, the fade in the corner. Touchdown. Brian Quick, the rookie.
Quick at 6'3", 220 pounds, going over the top of Josh Robinson at 5'10". Less than 200. Watch how he elevates, goes up and gets the football. Sam Bradford liked the mismatch and went to it, and Quick pays it off for him.
Play will be reviewed.
So they'll take a review. Bradford, if it stands, his 16th touchdown pass of the season.
So watch as Quick comes down, catching the football. There's the foot, he's down, elbow in. Does he possess the ball all the way through? It appears that he does. I see a foot down in the end zone. It's fine right there. Elbow down, holding the football as he goes to the ground, never comes free. I think this will be upheld because it was initially called a touchdown.
Take a look.
This is what they're getting out of Brian Quick early. All right, see the elbow's down right there. And he possesses the football.
Mike Pereira, he got 1 foot down and an elbow. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, you always talk about the 1 knee equals 2 feet. Well, so does 1 elbow. So the elbow being down in bounds makes that the catch. And good Pitsy, focusing on the fact that he maintained control all the way through the process. So certainly appears to be a touchdown to me.
So is that like?
Sorry, I'm Gus and Charles. What did I say, Pitsy? But it's okay. A touchdown.
It's okay, Mike. That's the 3rd Pitsy
I mean, you guys work so many games. You know, I don't remember that if you're at SC or if you're at St. Louis. I mean, you're all over the place.
It's okay, Mike. Ron Pitts is a handsome guy, so it's a compliment to me. but what they're getting out of Brian Quick early, I guess they're gonna make the call now. Yeah, they play to Brian Quick's strengths. Right now, youngster going up and getting.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown. The receiver gets 1 foot down and then gets his elbow prior to going out of bounds. Therefore, it is a touchdown.
Thank you, Mike Pereira.
And what we're seeing is an experienced head coach in Jeff Fisher making sure his staff understands. We have a rookie, Brian Quick, who maybe isn't coming along as fast as people want with the whole playbook. But let's play to his strengths. Let's use what we can out of him to give us an opportunity to score. Brian Quick on goal line, red zone at 6'3", 220, a valuable target that will be used.
So Legatron comes in to attempt the extra point. Greg Zuerlein, and what a wonderful season it's been for him. But let's take one more look at the touchdown.
Elevation by Brian Quick. Goes up and snags it. Tie game.
7-7 as St. Louis goes on a 9-play, 73-yard drive. Bradford 5 of 6, 60 yards on the drive.
Couple connections with Gibson. Big strike to Gibbons on the route across the middle.
Zuerlein sending it away. Sharrows will bring it out of the end zone. 7 yards deep. Sharrows over the 15. Up to the 17-yard line. Josh Hall with the tackle on special teams. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, beginning with Adrian Peterson and these Vikings heading to Houston to take on the AFC South leading Texans, or the Rams, Bucks, Saints, Cowboys, Skins, Eagles. Then in America's Game of the Week, the Giants battle the Ravens in Baltimore, or the Bears versus the Cardinals. Coverage begins next week with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL Sunday pregame show at noon Eastern.
Speaking of tough schedules, the Giants are Atlanta today and go to Baltimore next week. Some way to end it up in December, isn't it?
It's usually their time of year. 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's the handoff. Adrian Peterson. Uh-oh! Watch out! AD! Sprinting! Touchdown, Minnesota! 82 yards! And you said, partner, it was only a matter of time.
Watch how the offensive line manages this on a draw. Right there, Jerome Felton. Now that there's the hole, that's where the lead fullback comes into play for Adrian Peterson. He likes to run behind no backs in front of him. But the biggest runs he's had this year, Jerome Felton has been the lead blocker, leading him through the hole and gaining extra yardage. The Vikings will continue to hand it to him because of that type of explosive play that can result.
82 yards for Peterson, his longest run of the year. And you get the feeling he's just warming up. All day, taking a look as he strides home. Minnesota up 14-7. Prior to his last run, Peterson had 8 yards on 8 carries. One run later, 9 carries, 90 yards.
Changes your yards per carry. Average in a hurry, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Vikings send it away. And Givens will take a knee. Now join the NFL in celebrating 50 years of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In this golden anniversary, come to Canton and join more than 10 million fans who have made the pilgrimage to the birthplace of the National Football League. Visit ProFootballHOF.com for more details. The Pro Football Hall of Fame celebrating 50 years. Deacon Jones is there.
Be careful, the head slap's coming. Merlin Olsen. Wow. The Dutchman, Norm Van Brocklin, who later won an NFL title as a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles and is the head coach of 2 expansion teams, one of them being the Minnesota Vikings.
First down and 10 to the 20. Bradford steps up in the pocket. Bradford elects to run it. Ooh, he takes a hard hit at the 30. And Bradford's got to get down. Chad Greenway made him pay, and he'll get up Gimby.
I think they liked everything about that play. I'm talking about the St. Louis Rams coaching staff, except for what you described at the end, Gus. He didn't get down. They want Sam Bradford to run the football. They want him to take it when that opportunity opens and sting the defense and make them pay for their coverage. But he has to get down, and he cannot take hits like that from Chad Greenway and especially Antoine Winfield. He is their franchise guy that's got to protect himself.
Second down and 1. Richardson hopping through the hole, and he will not pick up the first down. Fred Evans stands Richardson up.
And on a day like this, I don't know on 2nd and 1 if I wouldn't have Steven Jackson carrying the football. I want my thumper carrying it in the short yardage situations here. Darrell Richardson is a guy who can break runs. Got 11 carries now with 10 yards or more. He can be explosive. I want my big guy in short yardage possessing the ball.
Richardson, though, remains in the game. Bradford fumbles the snap. Minnesota looks like they may be on it. There's a fight at the bottom of the scrum right now, and it's Vikings football. Chad Greenway recovering the football for the Vikings.
And it looked like the snap was there. It didn't look like there was anything wrong with that. It just didn't get completed between Scott Wells, the center, and Sam Bradford. He wasn't able to take the football and take it up and make sure he executes the rest of the play, and then the Vikings get to it. So it might have been Kevin Williams. I know he and Greenway were down there fighting over the football. In any event, Minnesota has it.
First down at 10 of the 28. Now Ponder. Here's a screen, and doesn't fool anybody. Ball caught by John Carlson, and a flag.
Ineligible player downfield, number 75. Penalty is declined, second down.
That's a rookie left tackle, Matt Khalil.
See, in college, you can get out there as long as the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage on a screen play and you're legal. I know he's a rookie, gets out just a little bit too early. You can't release until that ball's completed.
Second down at 14 of the 32. Peterson. Oh, Peterson is dropped. Terrific defense. Kendall Langford.
To the right side of your screen. And now he fills the hole. Kendall Langford plays off of the block of Don Sullivan.
Even Adrian Peterson saying good hit for the fifth-year man out of Hampton. Third and 13 at the 31. Fans getting into it now. Ponder in the shotgun. Toby Gerhardt in the backfield with him. Ponder looking. Ponder, and he's assaulted. Eugene Sims got him from the backside.
And when you are a little bit confidence shaken, as Christian Ponder's been, look there. He had a chance to pull the trigger and fire the football into the middle with this bunch formation with his tight ends. He has an opportunity right there and doesn't get rid of the football. I know he sees the defender. Sometimes you got to put it on him. Right now, he just wants to take care of the ball and not make a mistake, and that's admirable.
So that brings on Blair Walsh in to attempt a 50-yarder. Last week against the Bears, he did not attempt a field goal. And this one is good. Walsh nailing one from 50 yards. 9:11 to go in the second quarter. The Vikings take a 17-7 lead. Blair Walsh has now tied Ryan Longwell's club record with 6 field goals from 50 and out. He's 6 of 6 on the season. And the kickers in this matchup are some of the best in the NFL. And Gibbons takes a knee. Jared Allen back on the field. Now Sam Bradford in this St. Louis offense, after fumbling and turning it over on their last trip, will try to get some rhythm. Ryan Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, and according to multiple NFL sources, this could be his finale as a coordinator. A lot of teams looking at him as a potential head coach. Marty Schottenheimer's son, Steven Jackson. Christian Ballard with the tackle.
This Rams offensive line started the season with Scott Wells as center, gets hurt in the first game. So Rob Turner has to go to center in weeks 2 through 11 before Wells has come back in recent weeks, and now the line solidified again. Early in this game, they've gotten pretty decent movement against the Vikings front. The last play, the Vikings defensive line won the battle.
Second down and 9 at the 21. Bradford delivers and incomplete. Looks like that ball either slipped out of his hands or was deflected at the line of scrimmage. Randy Gibson, the intended receiver.
Certainly didn't have the normal trajectory and flight path, did it, that Sam Bradford throws with? Because he got what I thought was good protection. Steven Jackson staying in, picking up a blitzer. But he's able to step in, and I'm with you. Something affected that throw.
So it brings up a third down. Rams 1 of 4 on third down conversions in the first half. They need 9 yards. Bradford intercepted. Griffin down the sideline. Touchdown Vikings. 30 yards for Everson Griffin.
Vikings do a really nice job of disguising things. Now watch Griffin, he's going to back up, and watch Harrison Smith, who backs up into 2 deep zone coverage. And Griffin backs up, and look at how well he plays on his feet. Looks like a linebacker, even though he's a defensive end. Maneuvers with Sam Bradford, goes to the football, picks it off as a receiver would, and then carries it home like a running back. Everson Griffin, the total package on that play.
17 points for Minnesota in less than 4 minutes. And with 8:25 to go in the second, the Vikings take a 24-7 lead, doing it on both sides of the football. Not often do you see a man 6'3", 273 pounds playing on the defensive line, running the way he ran after picking that football off. Everson Griffin.
How about the agility, just dropping off of the line of scrimmage from a 3-point stance to coverage similar to a linebacker, watches the eyes of the quarterback, flows to the football, and then as you pick, would you say 273? Was bringing it around the corner after the interception. Great hands too.
So St. Louis will start from the 20. One more look at the interception.
And look at this. Normally Minnesota goes with a 2-deep look. That's Griffin there. Look at Harrison Smith, the safety, and watch Brinkley, the linebacker. Brinkley rotates here, Griffin here, Smith back here, and then they get pressure from the right side from Jared Allen in the face of Bradford, hitting him as he's throwing the football. Griffin off of the disguise. I think they fooled Bradford with the coverage look, and he picks it off and goes. Normally they go from 2 deep safeties and rotate to their looks. That time, it was a different look entirely from Alan Williams' defense.
First down from the 20 for St. Louis. Bradford, and he's crunched once again. Aaron Henderson.
In the break, Gus, we talked about since Sam Bradford took that hit on the running play, things haven't quite been right.
Holding, number 76 offense. Penalty is declined, second down.
I wonder how much that may have affected it. 2 plays after that hit, they had the fumble on the quarterback center exchange. Not long after that, the interception was thrown. It was a big-time hit he took from Antoine Winfield with Chad Greenway in the open field.
So a 7-yard loss, second down and 17 at the 13 for St. Louis.
Now Minnesota gets to dictate entirely on defense with their coverages.
Bradford looking backside. Here's a screen to Steven Jackson. And Jackson goes down to the 21. Brett Evans.
This is what it's been like for Sam Bradford today. That was on the first series of the game, the pressure. The hit we just described in the open field. That was the interception, Jared Allen getting after him, and that was right there the last play we just saw. Aaron Henderson getting to Sam Bradford also. Vikings like to use their front 4 to apply the pressure, occasionally bringing a 5th guy with everyone else playing coverage. You can do that with Jared Allen, the defensive end.
Third down and 8. Richardson in the backfield from the 22. They need to go to the 30 for a first down. Bradford again, and he's sacked. 3rd sack of the first half, this time Christian Ballard.
no threat at all of running the football on that play. That just turns loose the Minnesota guys. Look at them bunch up on the front, try and confuse some blocking schemes. 2 linebackers fall out of it, and Ballard just beats them right up the middle. Rob Turner, 59, unable to affect the block. Ballard puts down Bradford again.
Johnny Hecker punting out of his own end zone. Marcus Sherrill's back deep. Hecker gets away, a beautiful punt. And fair caught at the 31. 55-yard punt. Now don't miss the epic 2-night finale. Only the X Factor can deliver. First on Wednesday, the final 3 face off. Live for your vote. Then on Thursday, some of the biggest names in music perform live. Plus find out who wins the $5 million prize. The X Factor 2-night season finale is live this Wednesday and Thursday on Fox. The X Factor in this game, that man right there, number 28. 82-yard touchdown run in the first half for Adrian Peterson. Ponder to throw. Ponder up the sideline, deep, incomplete. That ball intended for Jarius Wright.
That's okay, though. That's okay. If you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, you're saying, what is this guy saying that's okay? It's an incomplete pass. But you've got to loosen up the defense enough to give Adrian Peterson a chance to run the football. Maybe they're not completing it, but the threat there with a Jarius Wright, Ponder throwing it down there, makes you loosen up just enough to try and give Peterson a little bit of extra space.
Peterson runs it this time, and Peterson spinning, crosses the 40. Eugene Sims and Rocky McIntosh combining on the tackle.
How many teams do you know that on 2nd and 10, it's not bad to run the football? Look at that. Adrian Peterson reads the block of Felton, 42. Then from there, he takes it with the spinning and the movement. Offensive line doing a nice job creating the initial hole and opportunity. Peterson and Felton maximizing it.
And he picks up a first down, 101 yards rushing in the first half for Adrian Peterson. 93 in the second quarter.
What was it, 104 in the first quarter last week?
Yes. And a timeout call by the Vikings. Now don't forget, folks, we've got some good stuff coming up for you at halftime in Los Angeles. Kurt Menefee, I saw him as an Arizona Cardinals quarterback during the pregame show. He's got great feet and an incredible arm.
He may very well get the start.
Yes.
And did you notice he went Joe Theismann single bar on the face mask?
Yes, he did. Adrian Peterson now with 8 straight 100-yard games. This one coming in the first half. They pitch it. Peterson taking his time. And Peterson gets out of bounds as he crosses the 45. That's a 5-yard gain.
And that's a new element of Adrian Peterson's game, what you just described. Taking his time. The patience and the maturity to read blocks. You see what the fans think there. Adrian Peterson for MVP, and I don't think anyone's thinking otherwise right now. He's fully in that discussion. But how he's reading blocks now, allowing the blocks to form a little bit quicker, or a little bit more before he takes off and goes. The maturity of him as a runner continues to increase.
2nd and 5. Ponder to throw. Pumping. He's got his tight end. Nicely done. John Carlson with the reception at the 40. A 14-yard gain on 2nd and 5.
Here's Carlson here, and what they get is action out here that draws the eyes up. See how Carlson gets past Janoris Jenkins, 21? Because Jenkins was taking a peek into the backfield and saw the running back coming into the flat. Stopped his feet, allowed Carlson behind him, and Ponder sticks it on him.
First down at the Rams, 39. Felton and Peterson in the backfield. Ponder throws the hitch. Simpson. And Simpson turns. Looks like he lost the football. but Minnesota will retain possession. Jerome Simpson, you heard him scream when he turned. He may have injured his leg as he gets up quickly and walks off the field.
I think it got twisted under him on the tackle. There's Cortland Finnegan, 31, one-on-one with him, making the tackle, and that's the scream you heard right there. And that's where the ball dropped out. Simpson fortunate to get it back. It landed under his body. See, the ball comes out there, lands under his body, and he brings it back in for the recovery.
2nd down and 9 at the 38. Peterson running. Adrian Peterson again, and he picks up a 1st down. And Jeff Fisher was interesting when we talked to him at the Rams facility yesterday about Adrian Peterson. He said, you know, we're not going to stop him. And for the DBs, they know that it's not if, but when you end up facing him one-on-one and the punishment begins.
And he said that you don't, Jeff Fisher said, you don't stop Adrian Peterson, you try to manage him. And anytime he gets a big run, he told his team to play a mind game and pretend Christian Ponder completed a comeback pass or an 18-yard route rather than let Adrian Peterson get into your heads. Right now, he's in their heads and running through them.
Here's Ponder under pressure. And Ponder. Rocky McIntosh in his face. Toby Gerhart, the intended receiver.
The Rams defensive staff guessed along on that call with Bill Musgrave, the offense coordinator for the Vikings. Guessed on the call, blitzed him, got right into the face of Ponder, forcing the incompletion on 1st and 10. They guessed that they might take a shot on 1st down, a heavy rundown.
2nd down and 10 at the 25. Gerhart, the lone setback, and some movement on the line of scrimmage.
Neutral zone infraction on the defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's Kendall Langford, the left defensive tackle.
So you go from 2nd and 10 to 2nd and 5. Peterson was off the field. Guess who just trotted back on?
From the 20-yard line. Play fake. Ponder lets it go and sails this one out of the end zone. Decisions. It's the big sticking point for Christian Ponder.
And on that one, I can't say 100% that I felt like he made a decision on that play. I don't know if that was just a bad pass, but it turned out to be the right bad pass. Sailed it out of there. No one could make a play on the football. Not turning it over in the red zone. Still have an opportunity to put points on the board on 3rd and 5.
Here's Ponder with time. That one thrown high and incomplete, intended for Jerome Simpson. Right there, Janoris Jenkins. That'll bring on the field goal unit once again.
I think this might have been short of the 1st down anyway, but he did his receiver no favors, putting him up there like that and putting him in a spot to get tattooed by Janoris Jenkins with the pass broken up. Got to keep him on his feet on that play to give him a chance to try and pick up a 1st down.
So Blair Walsh, she's already nailed a 50-yarder. This one from 38 yards away. And he drills it once again. The Vikings will take the points. And with 3:11 to go in the 2nd quarter, Minnesota up big, 27-7. So let's recap this one. Christian Ponder got it going early for Minnesota.
Escaped the sack attempt by Robert Quinn. Dives into the end zone for the first points of the game. Beautiful pass by Sam Bradford to Brian Quick. And Adrian Peterson, 8 carries, 8 yards before that 82-yard sprint for a touchdown. And then Everson Griffin on the zone blitz, jumped out of the line of scrimmage, recreated playing linebacker on With Christian Ponder, the quarterback's coach, he moved down from the booth a couple of weeks ago in order to give more support to Christian Ponder. I think that's been a good thing for him. Has his quarterback coach in his ear as soon as he comes to the sidelines, a calming effect that he's getting from him.
Ponder doing a quality job of managing this first half. Gibbons comes up, fields it at the 4, and chopped down at the, make it the 13-yard line. As Bradford comes back on the field. At Asiata with the tackle on special teams. Some violent striking by this Minnesota football team this afternoon.
They do a really nice job of tackling. And we see the results of the Rams' first 6 possessions. 2 punts, got the touchdown. Then the fumble with Sam Bradford, the quarterback center exchange. The interception by Bradford to Griffin.
Jackson dragging a defender at the bottom of the pile, Chad Greenway.
Let me go back to the point you were making about how they tackle so well. And we talked to them about that because we know the new rules with the collective bargaining agreement. There's not a lot of padded practices anymore. It's not a lot of hitting. How do you tackle so well and continue that during the year when you don't really get a chance to practice it? Well, they talk about it all the time. Every drill they run, they get into a hitting position at the end of the drill. They try and surround the football with as many bodies so you don't miss as many tackles. You always have people around, and they just make it a point of emphasis every Wednesday with a tackling circuit, even if they're just essaying it.
2nd and 6. Gibson cradles it, picks up a first down.
So it's a point of emphasis for Alan Williams, their defensive coordinator, to always stress it. Even if you're not doing it all the time, those mental reps come into play for a team throughout their season.
And that should take us to the 2-minute warning with the score. Minnesota 27, St. Louis 7. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 27-7 Minnesota. Sam Bradford, the quarterback for St. Louis, has been under constant pressure. Bradford underneath on the slant route to Brandon Gibson, and Gibson will pick up the first down. A.J. Jefferson escorting him out of bounds. Gibson 3 catches, 38 yards, averaging 13 yards a catch here in the first half. First down and 10 to the 42. Richardson in the backfield. Bradford dumps it off short to his tight end and out of bounds. Runs Lance Kendricks after a 13-yard pickup.
What Minnesota is doing defensively is almost trying to slow the game down for Sam Bradford. Meaning they're going to show you different looks and make sure that he throws it underneath. They want him throwing the checkdowns, nothing down the field. They want him to go the long way to try and put points on the board before the half.
It's like some movement on that Ram offensive line.
False start, number 63. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Scott Wells, the center.
You can get a false start on the center. He's really, I mean, we've heard how quick Scott Wells is off the football. That's really getting out there.
Rams were assessed just 2 penalties last week against Buffalo, and neither was an offensive penalty for today. First down and 15. Bradford over the middle to Steven Jackson. And Jackson will get to the 42-yard line. Antoine Winfield, 3-time Pro Bowler, one of the great tacklers in the NFL, brings him down.
We've heard he might be a little limited today because of an ankle injury, but haven't seen any effects of that so far.
2nd and 7. Bradford again. Jackson And Jackson out of bounds, stopping the clock. Chad Greenway tripped him up. He gains 8, so another first down for St. Louis. Rams with all 3 of their timeouts left. 1:19 to go. Jeff Fisher looking for something positive as they get ready to head into the locker room for halftime.
And with Legatron, Greg Zuerlein, they are well within field goal range already.
They'd love 7 though. And another penalty. Left guard Rob Turner says it wasn't me.
False start, number 59, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Al Riveron says something different.
Rob Turner was hoping to get the neutral zone infraction from the defender. Unsuccessfully lobbied for it. And Minnesota knows they get the ball to start the second half. Trying to see what they can do to limit St. Louis on this drive as Jeff Fisher looks on.
Bradford backside. Under pressure by Jared Allen once again. Intended for Danny Amendola.
Now the stats won't show that Jared Allen was dominant in the first half, but the stats lie because he's been the dominant defender in the first half. Drawn a couple of holding penalties that have killed drives. The big hit on Bradford on the interception by Griffin. A couple of other plays and running plays, he's made plays. Jared Allen is a complete defensive end.
Second down, underneath and dropped by Chris Gibbons. And he had running room.
See what that Vikings defense does, partner? They go to that 2 deep coverage. They go to 3 deep coverage. They go zone blitz and make you throw it underneath, and they make you be very efficient in what you do. And if you're not, you end up at 3rd and long.
3rd down and 15.
There's your 2 deep safeties again.
Bradford steps up, delivers. He's got a receiver. Incomplete. Chris Gibbons was open. Wide open. A little too much on it from Sam Bradford.
And they work you so hard that when you have a shot and you don't get it, it is a huge disappointment. Again, pressure at his feet and the hit on the front side. That one coming from Christian Ballard. Looked like Allen at his feet made it tough for him to step up and throw it.
So Greg Zuerlein, who they have affectionately named Legatron, into attempt 1 from 57 yards. His long of the season, 60. And he pushed this one wide. So the Rams come up empty with a minute to go. Sam Bradford with opportunities.
First down.
But now Minnesota takes over. Great field position and a terrific kicker as well.
As much basketball as you've done in your career, work with me on this one. The way Minnesota's done their defense, they've made everything so valuable on each play for St. Louis that when they miss, right, it's tough, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
They don't give you many shots, so you got to hit every one when it comes, and when you don't, it's almost a double whammy.
Here's Ponder, a minute to go, over the middle, and that's his tight end. Rudolph with the catch, 6 yards. Minnesota with 2 timeouts remaining, and they call one now. So 1 timeout left for the Vikings. Let's go to Kurt Menefee as he previews what's coming up at the break.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime Show, we'll get you all caught up on a great day of action in the NFL, including a huge AFC matchup as Peyton Manning and the Broncos visit Baltimore, and Houston tries to bounce back against Andrew Luck and the Colts. We'll see you on the Visa Halftime when these guys will be working.
Second down and 4 at the 47. Ponder to Gerhardt. And Toby Gerhardt with running room gets to the 35 with 47 seconds left. Janoris Jenkins knocks him down. So already Minnesota in field goal range.
Excellent intelligence, too, by Toby Gerhardt, understanding what the situation is with the clock, able to catch the ball, get all he could out of it, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
First down. 47 seconds to go. Ponder. Screen. Gerhardt. And Toby getting down at the 25-yard line, close to the first down. Laurinaitis and Tremaine Johnson with the tackle. But it looks like Vikings thinking about 7 points here.
Yeah, they're trying to go into the locker room with full momentum.
Ponder again. Simpson, is that a catch? Yes, it is. A lot of talking going on the field. Vikings quickly to the line of scrimmage. First down at the 24.
Got to run out. That was not managed well by the Vikings. I mean, when Simpson caught the ball, there were about 15 seconds on the clock. And it's almost like they were undecided on, do we hustle? Do we not? What do we do? And almost Simpson making that catch almost was the wrong thing. If he lets that go, it doesn't catch it, clock stops for them.
But you're surprised that Ponder talked about the thing that he wants to work on is good decision making. As your quarterback, you may not want to make that pass there. Instead, take a shot in the end zone.
So many things that will continue to develop for him as a young quarterback moving along.
Blair Walsh in to attempt a 42-yarder. He has been dynamite. And Minnesota will also get the ball to start the second half. And what a first half it was for Leslie Frazier's team. On the road where they have not been good this season. They didn't turn it over. And they forced the issue on both sides of the football. A lot of pressure on Sam Bradford. Adrian Peterson running it extremely well. And the field goal kicker, Blair Walsh, was dynamite. 30-7 at the break.
You did mention that they've struggled on the road this year. 1-5 coming in. What's been the difference? Turnovers. You also cited that. They've won the turnover battle in the first half. The Vikings have turned it into points with the Everson Griffin return on the touchdown and the fumble recovery on the quarterback center exchange. When they beat Detroit for their only win, they were +1 in the turnover category. For the rest of the year, 1-5 on the road, -6 in turnovers. They're +2 today. That's a big deal for them.
Our halftime score, 30-7. Adrian Peterson, 13 carries, 119 yards. And a touchdown. 82 yards. We're at halftime here in St. Louis. Our score, 30-7. Vikings leading on the road. The Visa halftime is coming up after these messages from your local station. Welcome back to St. Louis, with the Minnesota Vikings head into the third quarter with a 30-7 lead. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Welcome back to St. Louis. Gus Johnson along with Charles Davis, CD. Complete domination for the Vikings in the first half.
Didn't see the game unfolding this way, but the blueprint was perfect for the Minnesota Vikings, and they really got going before they even got Adrian Peterson going, because the defense controlled things right from the opening snap. Jared Allen's numbers won't be super impressive to anyone at home, but he's had a huge effect on this game, drawing holding penalties, hurting the offense. When we look at the halftime stats, Adrian Peterson did get going. 119 yards rushing in the first half for him, averaging about 9 yards per carry. The sacks for Minnesota, 3, and countless other number of hits on Sam Bradford. The Vikings game plan working to perfection.
So Minnesota with the football to start the second half. This one kicked out of the end zone. They'll have it at the 20. Let's go downstairs to Christina Pink.
Thanks a lot, Gus. Well, as you can imagine, all positives coming from Leslie Frazier at halftime. He told me, I like the way they're playing on both sides of the ball. He likes the intensity, likes the energy, and said defensively they just need to force more turnovers and keep that energy up in the second half. Jeff Fisher, though, said we're going to have to throw the ball to get back in this game, so that needs to start up front and protecting Sam Bradford a lot better, and they got to start making plays. Gus?
All right, Christina, thank you very much. So we start the second half. Minnesota with the football at their own 20. Adrian Peterson. And Adrian Peterson slashing his way to the 26-yard line. Mario Hagan with the tackle, and Adrian Peterson needs to average 133.3 yards to become the 7th player to hit 2,000. He needs to average 168.7 to break Eric Dickerson's 1984 record of 2,105. Coming into this game, he's got 119 plus today. 125 now for Adrian Peterson.
Things set up perfectly with a 30-7 lead, and Minnesota wanting to run the football.
Ponder rolling out, throws on the run, finds Rudolph.
Remember the first half, we were talking about how well the Rams were defending him on, was it the first 8 carries? Wasn't it? What, 8 carries, 8 yards? And we talked about Eric Dickerson maybe breaking off a call to the Rams saying, you know, I don't want my record broken. And he's on record as having stated that, because Adrian Peterson is on record as saying, yes, I'm chasing Eric Dickerson's record. Battle of the wills. Peterson and the Vikings won it in the first half. Expect a heavy dose of him in the second.
3rd down and 2 at the 28.
We're good.
Peterson on 3rd down. And I don't know. I don't think he's going to get it.
I agree with you. Initial contact stopped him as he tried to spin. Enough other Rams were there to bring him down. A good series to start for the St. Louis Rams here in the second half.
So a 3 and out for Minnesota to start the second half. Danny Amendola back deep. Chris Cluey will punt it from his own 14. High spiraling punt. Amendola with space. The start of the 23. And Amendola, beautiful run. Danny Amendola, flag on the plate. And Amendola out at the 40-yard line. But there is a flag. A 27-yard return.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 46 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
That's Corey Harkey.
Rookie out of UCLA.
Right there on Red Ellison. Welcome back, Rams with the football. Jared Allen, what a player. But not only is he a great player, he's just so fun to be around. And I imagine he's the greatest teammate.
How can he not be? Very positive guy. And he did talk a couple weeks ago about the atmosphere in their locker room and how good it's been and how much fun he's having with this group of players as they're growing and developing. This is a Minnesota team that no longer can you question whether they're improving down the stretch.
1st down at the 30 for the Rams. Here's Steven Jackson. And Steven Jackson getting through the hole, stumbles and gets to the 43 before being stopped by Harrison Smith. And for Sam Bradford, he's got to shake off the December slump. He's got a touchdown and interception today, but only 3 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in December games.
Struggled against Buffalo last week, but did leave that 80-plus yard drive for the touchdown and was sharp on that drive. What they're looking for is 4 quarters of that. But I do think the hit he took earlier today has had an effect on him on his running play.
Greenway tackling Steven Jackson. Sam Bradford talking to him at the facility yesterday. He's still very positive. So happy to have Jeff Fisher as his coach. And Coach Fisher telling us that down the road you're going to see this young man call plays at the line of scrimmage like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he and Brian Schottenheimer both, when you just mentioned Sam Bradford, grins on their faces. Talk about his intelligence, his maturity, his poise, his toughness, his ability to throw the football accurately. It's been a tough day today thus far, but his future remains bright.
2nd and 10. Bradford deflected at the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if he hit his own lineman on that one. I think Barry Richardson, 79, was in the vicinity blocking on the play. Let's see. Nope, actually, that is
Kevin Williams.
Lineman. Yeah. This Vikings team, you know, we always talk about them rushing the passer, being stout on the defensive line. But how about just the simple fundamentals? You can't get to the quarterback, get your arms in the passing lane. Look what happened on that play.
3rd down and 10 at the 43. They're 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversion. Bradford in trouble and sacked again for the 4th time. Wow. Chad Greenway gets to him this time. Now the Bluebirds come out here in St. Louis.
And Alan Williams changed things up because normally Chad Greenway drops into coverage. But watch this. Change up. And there's the rookie, Daryl Richardson, trying to block. He plays off of him, moves to the side, and brings him down with some help on the backside from Everson Griffin. And there's Alan Williams, the young defensive coordinator with the Vikings, his second year, doing a really nice job molding this defense and getting better here in December.
Johnny Hecker will punt it from the 20. Marcus Sherrill's back at his own 12. This one out of bounds off the side of the foot of Hecker. It's gone from bad to worse for the Rams. They can't protect the quarterback. Minnesota trying to kick him around. 30-7, the defense huddling up, looking at the pictures from upstairs.
And look at those numbers today. Only giving up 7 points. That's the key number. Held down the run game, 2 takeaways, 4 sacks. But how many other hits and how much other pressure on Sam Bradford?
Adrian Peterson running. One thing Leslie Frazier talked about on our conference call this week, he said early in the season he knew that this team had a chance to be good because of participation.
Yeah, he talked about the off season. He said April 23rd, I think, was the first day they could report. And he was actually, stunned isn't the right word, but overwhelmingly pleased by the turnout, which allowed them what? A chance to start jump-starting some things and put in some stuff maybe earlier than they normally would have because of how much they had in terms of participation. All their key players there and working their youngsters into the lineup earlier in competitive situations. That helped fuel their 5-2 start this season.
2nd and 8 at the 42. Ponder fires out wide. He has his man, and it's Stephen Burton. Ponder looks like his confidence, Charles, is growing minute by minute.
And I think they've done a nice job in managing him today. Let's go back to the first play of the game. Heavy run formation, and they threw the ball right out of the gate to get him comfortable. And from that moment on, and then I think the biggest play for him was shaking off the near sack and running for a touchdown inside the 5-yard line. Allowed him to get comfortable early and show his team that he's going to be tough and make some plays.
3rd down and 3. Ponder to the sideline. Oh, nicely done. This time it's Michael Jenkins.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Charles, Ponder with an ease in his game, relaxation in his game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And that ease has happened because they've helped him get there. You know, I go back, I think Christina Pink scouted this game better than we did when she talked about the tight ends being big-time targets today for Christian Ponder. They have been that. Now the wide receivers are starting to join in. They're not getting crazy with the throws downfield, but giving Ponder very manageable throws that give him that confidence and ease you noted.
2nd man through, Peterson turns the corner. Peterson up to the 30 and delivers a lick. Cortland Finnegan there on the other end. Let's go to Kirk Menefee for game break.
Well, while the focus has been on rookie Kirk Cousins, starting for rookie RG3, who's out, don't forget the rookie Alfred Morris. 3rd leading rusher in the league, and that's his 8th touchdown of the season. Important win because it puts the Redskins up by 3 in the 3rd quarter. Justin Charles?
All right, thanks, Kurt. Giants struggling on the road at Atlanta. They're getting blanked right now, so Washington, with the win today, they are in business. Here's Peterson. And Peterson zipped up from behind. Looks like William Hayes got his ankle. They're talking to AP yesterday. He said, you know, I'd love to punish guys. It's on my mind. I want to make them think about me and get in their heads as the game progresses.
He's one of those old school runners, violent runner. And the good thing about him is that he has enough vision to run to daylight, as Vince Lombardi used to say, but he doesn't mind running the contact. That doesn't bother him at all. He figures that'll pay dividends later in the game when guys really won't want to take him on in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Play fake. Nice catch. And yards after the catch by Jerome Simpson. All hands for Jerome Simpson. That's what you want to see from a receiver.
I really like the collaboration there because Simpson came under fire for 3 big drops against Chicago a few weeks ago. Told him he had to play better. He's put in extra work with the jugs machine and extra time. And how about that? Not just the catch, but you see where that football was? The right spot to the outside so the receiver could catch it and turn upfield. That ease you're talking about with Christian Ponder, we're seeing it on just about every throw now. The accuracy has really jumped up.
Got to give a lot of credit to this Minnesota offensive line. He has had plenty of time to throw the ball. Peterson. And he's wrapped up. Curls down inside the 15 by Quentin Michael. Are we watching a living legend in only his 6th year?
I don't think there's any question about it, Gus. And the legend grows this year because it was game 15 in Washington last year when he tore his ACL. Yet he was back for opening day this year. That's just not supposed to happen. That's why I call him Wolverine. The ability to regenerate is beyond the pale.
What is it called? Adamantium?
Yes.
As my son would tell me. 2nd and 8 from the 14. Ponder. And he's hit as he throws the football. And it goes out of play.
And they didn't call it an incomplete pass. It looked like they're spotting it as if it's a fumble.
Quentin Michael hitting him and dislodging the football.
Let's take a look and see if he does get the pass off. Michael from the backside. To me, that's an incomplete pass. That's the motion of throwing the football. And they're calling that a fumble. See, Minnesota's not challenging on that one, but I think that they would have had a very good chance of winning the challenge on that one.
3rd down and 29 to the 35. And now it looks like it'll be challenged from the Minnesota sideline. Would love to get Mike Pereira's thoughts on what the official rule is. Go all the way back to the New England Patriots and Oakland Raiders in the playoffs. Empty hand.
Minnesota's challenging the ruling on the field. Pass.
Seems like and Charles, it seems like that rule is confusing at times. In the meantime, we'll try to get Mike Pereira sparked up to see if he can give us some insight on a play like this. Back after this. Welcome back, 30-7, Minnesota with the lead. And here's the decision from Al Riveron.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. The ball became loose prior to the quarterback's hand and or arm going forward. Therefore, it is a fumble. It will be 3rd down. Minnesota will be charged with a timeout, and that is also their first challenge.
All right, thank you very much. Mike Pereira, are you there? Can you give us, is that the right call?
Yeah, it is. And, you know, he could have left the finding of the arm out because the elbow has started forward. But the ball actually rolls off of his fingertips, and it's only the hand that counts before the hand starts forward. So, yep, it is a clear fumble and a good call by Al Riveron.
Thank you very much, Mike. 3rd down and 29 at the 35.
Running. Clock operator, please reset to 6:03. Thank you.
I can mark that one in my loss column because I thought that was an incomplete pass. I thought his arm was coming forward. I didn't see the ball come off of his hand that way, but Mike and Al Riveron saw it differently, and they're the ones that count.
That one almost picked off. Tremaine Johnson just couldn't hold on.
Watch Johnson here. He's just going to read and jump the route. That's called cluing into the quarterback. Cluing means you see the receiver in front of you, your eyes go one on the receiver, one on the quarterback, and as soon as the quarterback set up and stopped his drop and brought his arm forward, Tremaine Johnson never retreated, drove on the football, and almost came up with an interception.
Blair Walsh comes in to attempt a 53-yarder. Wow, and he squeezes it in. 4 for 4, 53, 50, 42, and 38. A new Vikings record. Blair Walsh kicks his 7th 50-yard field goal of the year. That's a new club record. He tied Ryan Longwell's record of 6 50-yard field goals with a 50-yarder earlier, and he surpasses Longwell with the 53-yarder. Isaiah Peed is back deep, and he takes a knee. Call ** NFL to download NFL Mobile now and get coverage of every NFL game this holiday season while on the go. Gus Johnson, Charles Davis, Christina Pink with you from St. Louis. The Rams with such great momentum after the win last week on the road in Buffalo. Different story today. They have been manhandled by this Minnesota Vikings team. Sam Bradford on his keister a number of times. Bradford sets up Steven Jackson. And Jackson finds a channel, tackled by Christian Ballard after an 18-yard gain.
And I think the Rams viewed this game, I don't think it, I know it. They viewed this game as a milepost type game, another marker for them. Do you remember earlier this year, they've gone helmet to helmet twice with San Francisco. And San Francisco is nothing if not physical. And they did it in overtime tie once and then beat them in overtime the second time. But you remember after the overtime tie, they came home and lost to a Jets team that's been struggling. This was the type of game they wanted to come out and show that they can handle some of that prosperity they've developed in recent weeks.
Bradford, the screen on the other side of Jackson. And Jackson barrels his way forward as he crosses the 45. Jack Greenway defensively for the Vikings. Can't say enough, though, about Leslie Frazier. He took over this team as an interim head coach. It took us some time, and now it seems like they're starting to take on his personality. Remember, Frazier was an undrafted free agent out of Alcorn State. Jackson again.
And many thought he was taking over a team that was really truly in the decline, that they didn't have a chance to compete with Green Bay and Chicago, that they were going to be a major rebuilding project. And look at how they've turned it around thus far this season. Leslie Frazier, so smart, studious, calm and measured in his speech, but never any doubt about who's in control of this football team.
Sam Bradford hit as he throws. That one a wobbler.
And Gus, I'm still mad about how his career ended, because that was the Super Bowl where they were just tattooing the Patriots. And they were up huge, and they ran a reverse on a punt return. And that was the play Leslie got hurt on and was never able to come back and play at that level again. Never heard him say a word about it. I always thought, why now? I mean, why were they running that play?
2nd and 10.
I don't think the teammates reunion in postgame, Fish is going to want to spend a lot of time after this one.
Bradford steps into his throw, and he has his receiver, and that's Austin Pettis, second-year player out of Boise.
This is good for the Rams, trying to string together a drive, put together some plays, but also what we know with the way Minnesota plays defense, they're not worried about the yards you're getting now. They'll give you all the things underneath, run all the screens and check downs you want. The tough part is trying to get it into the end zone. Thus far today, they've only been able to do that once.
First down at the Minnesota 38. Kendricks in motion. Jackson with an hold. And Jackson pounds his way to the 30. Let's go to L.A. for another update. Here's Kurt.
And we will take it to Cleveland, where the Redskins are riding Kirk Cousins to the lead. His second touchdown pass of the day, both to Leonard Hankerson. That one put him up by 10, 24-14 in third quarter. Gus, Charles, and Christina.
As you take a look at the NFC wildcard race. Jackson.
Nice
Harrison
tackle.
Smith there defensively.
Nice tackle by the rookie safety, Harrison Smith, coming up. Excellent position, taking on one of the tougher backs in the league to bring down. Because when you hit Steven Jackson, we talk about how big he is earlier in the game. And then look at the pads Steven Jackson has on. I mean, he's going to wear the biggest, look at his thigh pads. So when you take him on, you're taking on him and all of his armor. Not an easy assignment.
3rd and 2. Scott Wells, the center, may have forgot the snap count.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You know, at the holidays when families get together and like play that backyard football, it almost looked like the classic center sneak. Right? Everybody wants to run the center sneak. That's usually the argument that ends the game. Right? That breaks up the game. That's not legal. No, it is legal. No, that's not legal. And everybody goes inside for more pie.
3rd down and 7. Can't do the center sneak, though, out of the shotgun. He's got to touch the quarterback's hand. Bradford looking for Danny Amendola. Flag on the play.
Pass interference, number 24 defense. The ball will be placed in the spot foul. 1st down.
A.J. Jefferson.
Left of your screen, Amendola 16 in blue. Right there, he grabs him. And that's what the call is going to be. Ball's going to be in the air. See the grab right there? Not allowing Amendola to finish his route.
1st down and 10 to the 30 for the Rams. Delayed handoff, Jackson. And Jackson to the 21. And with that run, Steven Jackson is now part of an elite fraternity. 10,000 yards for this man in his career. The 27th player in NFL history to hit 10,000. Fans acknowledging this man's great accomplishments. 2nd and 1. Bradford in trouble. Trying to buy time. And incomplete. But one more look at the run that secured 10,000 career yards for Steven Jackson.
On the draw, Scott Wells climbing up, trying to help him out. Steven Jackson carrying people. Harvey Dahl, number 62, the offensive guard. It's a pretty impressive list in front of him, isn't it? Fox's own Eddie George at number 24.
3rd down and short. Inside handoff. Jackson trying to lean forward. I don't know.
For all those people just talk about Jared Allen being a sack master, he plays the run as well as any defensive end in the league. Watch Jared Allen come down the line of scrimmage, flattens down the line to make this play on Steven Jackson. Look at that. Textbook. And then gets the help inside. Looks like Kevin Williams, number 93. He and Kevin Williams have been doing that together for a long time as members of Minnesota Vikings.
Jeff Fisher will go for it on 4th down and 1. Empty backfield for Bradford. And he has the 1st down. Austin Pettis. Pettis hurt. It's like a shoulder. As we come to the end of the 3rd quarter, our score, Minnesota 33, St. Louis 7. The Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages from your local Fox station. Start of the 4th quarter, Vikings with the big lead, 33-7 over the St. Louis Rams. Christian Ponder, really solid. Different story for Sam Bradford. He's been under constant pressure. But right now, his team with the football at the Vikings 16-yard line. Thirteenth play of the drive. It started at the St. Louis 20. Bradford Steps up. Finds Jackson on the far side. And Steven Jackson out of bounds. Harrison Smith there for the Vikings.
Sam Bradford wanted to run upfield for what he thought was good yardage. And Kevin Williams put the big meat hook on him and had just enough to dissuade him from doing that and forced him into looking for an alternate route and throwing the football. He was trying to take off and sprint right up in the middle of the defense.
Bradford. Incomplete. Intended for Jackson once again. Chad Greenway, though, the outside linebacker with great coverage.
And that's why he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's Chad Greenway's strength as a player. Being able to cover people in open field, the run and chase and hit linebacker with terrific coverage skills and a nose for the football. 10 fumble recoveries.
Second in the NFL in tackles with 126 at 18 against Green Bay. 3rd and 5. Bradford underneath. Amendola. Nowhere to go. Greenway there. Close to the first down, however. And he has it.
Looks like Steven Jackson's coming off the field in this situation. Daryl Richardson into the game at running back.
They fake the reverse. Bradford on the roll. Touchdown. Amendola found a crease. And Sam Bradford puts it on him.
That was a well-thrown ball. Big reverse here to Pettis coming into the backfield. Bradford using his mobility, and look at him, throws a laser shot. And decent coverage, too. In front of Josh Robinson, it was not bad coverage. Well-thrown ball by Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford's 17th touchdown pass of the season. As we start this fourth quarter, St. Louis showing some life, down big on their home grounds, 33-14. Rams still playing hard. A lot of work to do. Third receiving touchdown of the year for Danny Amendola. And the Vikings and Rams continue to battle. 33-14. Minnesota. 15-play, 80-yard drive as the Rams ate up over 7 minutes. This one out of the end zone once again for Greg Zuerlein. Amendola emotional after the touchdown. Great spike. You got to be loose when you're down there. Oh. Man lost his glasses, but he'll get a football. I'll take that any day. Back in St. Louis, Minnesota takes over at their own 20. Adrian Peterson, 19 carries, 142 yards, and an 82-yard touchdown. He's averaging 7.5 yards per carry. They'll pitch it to him on first down. Adrian Peterson, knee surgery during the offseason. Certainly a candidate for comeback player of the year. A couple of others as well.
I mean, we talked about Peyton Manning with the neck surgery, and we heard about the 4 surgeries. Peterson with the ACL and the unprecedented least amount of time to come back and play at this type of level. But how about Thomas Davis, who we saw last week with the Carolina Panthers? Tore the same knee's ACL 3 times and is back playing at a very nice level for the Carolina Panthers. 3 significant guys to talk about for comeback player of the year.
Had an interception, Davis, last week against Atlanta as Carolina beat the Falcons in Charlotte. Second and 10 of the 20. No gain on the last play. Peterson again. He'll gain some yards this time. Adrian Peterson. Whoa! What a blow. Janoris Jenkins, the rookie out of North Alabama, will remember that one.
Remember when Janoris Jenkins tackled him earlier in the game one-on-one? I think Adrian Peterson remembers.
All day. Punishment.
Leslie Frazier and Jeff Fisher both played with Walter Payton in Chicago, and they always talked about how he finished runs. What was Walter's signature thing? Don't go down easy, right? You finish the play hard. That's Adrian Peterson right there.
Peterson with 159 yards rushing. He had 154 last week against the Bears. And they'll drop it off Jarius Wright. And Wright picks up the first down. And Peterson was interesting when we talked to him yesterday about his knee surgery, and everybody's so amazed with how well he's recovered. He said it didn't take him long to know that everything will be fine.
Amazingly enough, because I asked the question, when did you know, kind of like middle of your rehab, or is there a certain day? He said, when I came out of surgery. Yeah, and he just said it so matter of fact. He did just his mind and his will didn't allow him to think that he would not be back on opening day.
First down and 10 at the 48. Ponder to Peterson. He crashes through. James Laurinaitis, middle linebacker, with the tackle.
And as we watch Adrian Peterson make history, one other thing to watch as this game finishes up, Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, I want to give him a little credit today, because I think that he has done the best job in recent weeks of taking care of his quarterback. Because of what Peterson gives them, it gave him an opportunity today to get Ponder into that comfort zone that you talked about earlier, Gus, that ease of playing with the right types of throws and confidence-building plays.
Peterson again. And Peterson wrestled down at the line of scrimmage. William Hayes and Michael Brockers with the tackle. Let's go back. Week 16 last season, Adrian Peterson suffered a devastating injury to his left knee, leaving a big question mark about his return. This season, he answered that question with authority as he's averaged 6 yards per rush, scored 10 touchdowns, and came into today's game leading the league in rushing yards. So 11 touchdowns now for Adrian Peterson after the 82-yard run in the first half. 160 yards rushing. 3rd and 9. Ponder, pump fake. Ponder to Burton. And a late flag thrown.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 71 in the offense, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's a right tackle. Phil Lodeholt, 4th year out of Oklahoma.
Last week it was 3 false start penalties with Phil Lodeholt. Now he picks up the personal foul. Finish off the drive. Let's see what it is. At the end, there's the push. He's trying to clean things off of his teammate, but the push of Quentin Michael at the end of the play right in front of the officials draws their attention.
Lodeholt, a big man, 6'8", 343 pounds.
There's not a lot that he can do on the sly, is there?
No. And he's hot on the Minnesota sideline. Chris Kluwe inside his own 25, 3rd punt. Danny Amendola back deep at his own 14. And Kluwe nails this one. Amendola with the fair catch at the 11, a 51-yarder. So Steven Jackson, 10,000 yards for a career in this game. We'll see if he can get his Rams going right after this. Under 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. 33-14, Minnesota. Steven Jackson on the sideline right now. Jackson not only going over 10,000 yards rushing for his career in this game, he's doing a terrific job catching the ball. 7 catches, 67 yards to lead this team. Here's Pettis with the catch. And Pettis shies away from contact as he tries to turn in front of Harrison Smith.
So and if St. Louis wants to make this truly interesting, this is the drive. I think they're going to go a little bit quicker here. Try and score and get back into this.
Over the middle, Amendola gets down, makes the catch in front of Smith. Nicely done by Danny Amendola. That was a tough grab.
I mean, all I think about here is the courage of Danny Amendola. Knowing that the blow is coming, Harrison Smith trying to police the area, gets down underneath it. It became a glancing blow, but he knew Harrison Smith was coming full speed.
A 26-yard gain. Bradford over the middle. Once again, finding a soft spot. And that's Austin Pettis. Take a look at some of the scores around the NFL. How about the Atlanta Falcons at home against the world champion Giants? 34-0 with under 4 minutes to play.
The type of statement game the Falcons have needed. All they've heard all year long is that no one in the league fears them. This type of win over the Giants will put that doubt in people's minds.
Bradford dropping it off. Daryl Richardson. And our Christina Pig caught Sam Bradford trying to get his guys going. Christina, are you there?
I'm here, Gus. Yes, you know, Bradford has been beaten up and battered during this game, but his spirits are still up. Just before those guys went on the field, went over individually, talked to each one, and basically just reminding them that all they need is one play and one drive to get these guys fired up and back in the game.
Exactly what they're trying to accomplish here. They're moving quicker, a little more dispatch, not just in and out of the huddle, but after plays, they'll get back around the line of scrimmage and try to attack. If you're Minnesota now, Jared Allen's your guy. You're looking to make a play.
Bradford winds up, looking for Pettis, and a flag. A flag on the play. Harrison Smith and Josh Robinson were there defensively.
Number 21 defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That's Josh Robinson.
Robinson working at the corner. Working now with Pettis, trailing him and holding on at the hip the whole way. Look down below. See the left hand grabbing a little bit of cloth. It's not much, but that hand stayed. If the hand hits the hip and comes off, I don't think the official throws the flag, but the hand never came off of the hip while he's running the route. Made it too easy for the official.
First down and goal at the 6. Bradford in the end zone. Touchdown. That's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. 33-20. St. Louis trying to make this one interesting.
And they have, because if you take a look at this clock with 7:48 to go, that's plenty of time. As St. Louis comes out here with the touchdown to make this thing interesting.
And Bradford stays on the field. Rams will go for 2. They did it last week successfully against Buffalo.
A little surprised that they would go for 2 here in this spot. The extra point.
Watch Gibson in the slot at the top of your screen. Bradford inside, touchdown. Danny Amendola converts the 2-point conversion. Now with 7:48 to go, 33-22 the score. Rams with momentum. $7:48 to go in the fourth quarter. As you take a look at the scoring by quarters, St. Louis with 15 points in the fourth. And that puts the pressure now on the Minnesota offense as Zerline kicks it almost into the stands. Wow. 33-22. Here's a 2-point conversion, Charles.
Yeah, and that now gives the Rams an opportunity. If they don't get it, they still need the 2 touchdowns anyway. Jeff Fisher limiting the odds.
Big series for both these teams. Christian Ponder. We'll see how much confidence they have in him if they let him throw it. Adrian Peterson will run it on first down. Bounces it outside. Peterson! Watch out! Adrian Peterson again! Brings it back at the 40. Peterson down at the St. Louis 38. Make that 28. A 49-yard run.
This looks like it's stacked up very well at the line of scrimmage at the point of contact. Watch as he tries to cut it back. So he's stacked right there. But look how he escapes and spits. Jolon Dunbar can't get him. A nice block on the backside allows him access to the secondary. Craig Dahl overruns the play, and Peterson has now done not just change field position, but he's taken a ton of pressure off of the quarterback, Christian Ponder.
212 yards rushing today for Adrian Peterson. Gerhardt, and Gerhardt chopped down in the backfield by Jolon Dunbar.
Before that sprint by Adrian Peterson, as we look at the numbers of him today, his 4th 200-plus yard game in his career. What I was thinking before that snap was Christian Ponder may have to make a big 3rd down throw on this drive. You know, he wouldn't be thrown out of the rocking chair in this one, and Peterson took the pressure off of him with that sprint.
2nd and 13. Gerhardt remains in the game. He's the deep back. They give it to him. And Gerhardt stood up. Dunbar once again. So that will make it 3rd down and about 15 yards.
See, all the Vikings, I would think, are thinking here, if you're Bill Musgrave, the offense coordinator, and Ponder, you're thinking field goal. Go up 2 touchdowns if you're able to. What's Blair Walsh today? 4 for 4? 2 of them of the 50-plus yard variety. Pick up some manageable yards here if you're the Vikings and kick it. Just don't make a big mistake.
Ponder throws it. Incomplete. Intended for Kyle Rudolph, who hadn't come out of his break. And now they'll bring Blair Walsh back onto the field. And as you've mentioned, he's been perfect. A 53-yarder, a 50-yarder, a 42-yarder, a 38-yarder. Now he comes in to attempt a 51-yard field goal.
And if he hits that, he takes back really what Jeff Fisher took from them by going for 2 and getting it. Trying to take it out of a 2-touchdown game.
St. Louis will try to get some pressure on. Oh, man, this guy is good. Wow. He nails it. Perfect.
So Greg Zerline's Legatron, what are we going to call Blair Walsh?
I don't know. The Blair Project. Look at this. In an NFL season, most 50-yard field goals, he ties the record with Morton Anderson and Jason Hansen from the Detroit Lions.
Can you believe Jason Hansen is still doing it all these years and still at such a high level? Incredible company to be in for Blair Walsh as a rookie.
Ironically, the rookie from Georgia made just 14 of 35 field goals in his senior year, which dropped him dramatically down most draft boards. He was a 6th-round pick. Great scouting by this Minnesota team.
Makes you wonder about mechanics, snapper, holder. Did he just hit one of those slumps where he just couldn't get his mechanics right? Whatever it is, he's totally in sync now.
(36-22). Vikings. And he continues to send it out of the end zone. So let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. Atlanta, San Francisco, Green Bay. The Giants pounded today 34-0 at Atlanta.
And Washington is winning. Talk about the NFC East. Washington is winning over Cleveland 37-21 with 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. That's huge for the Giants because I believe that their division record, because I think they've all split with each other or close to that, their division record is behind Washington and Dallas, so that's tough for the Giants. Packers up 21-13 on the Bears.
This time they throw it. Steven Jackson gets to the 25. Jack Greenway, another tackle. 5 minutes and 17 seconds. Bradford again. Over the middle, caught. Pettis again. A 24-yard pickup. Where was this St. Louis team early?
I think Minnesota's contemplating now, do they do something to try and disrupt the rhythm? Because what they're trying to do is just rush the front four and drop everyone into coverage. This time they brought extra guys.
Bradford with a hand in his face. Aaron Henderson there applying the pressure.
I think Allen Williams might have had enough. You know, Gus, they were rushing the four, rushing three, dropping guys. Bradford had time.
Back is outside the pocket, second down.
And on that last snap, they showed pressure, and instead of dropping out, they stayed with it. And the ball got out of his hand a lot quicker.
Second and 10. Bradford, seam route, incomplete. Danny Amendola had a step.
Had the absolute right read and right play on. Had the touch just a little bit out in front of Amendola. And you see Bradford knew he had a play, unable to finish it. Minnesota showed such pressure. Two linebackers in the gaps in the middle. Both ran out, but were unable to get back into coverage.
Those are the numbers on the last three drives. Bradford over the middle again. Too far for Austin Pettis. Same throw.
But the thing that you have to keep in mind as you're watching this is how difficult that is. I mean, they're making you make precise throws at this point. Not wide open there. Open is over linebackers, in front of safeties, people running at guys. And that time, Minnesota brought extra pressure, so the ball got out of his hand a count quicker. Not able to just set up and fire.
Amendola, the receiver in the slot at the bottom of your screen. 4th down and 10. Vikings break pressure, and the Vikings get to Bradford. This time, Marcus Sherrills on the blitz. And St. Louis turns it over on downs.
Allen Williams decided not to sit back on this one. 4th and 10, brought pressure to go with the coverage. Sherrills from the backside gets to Bradford to make it an incomplete pass. Look at Everson Griffin playing shortstop, catches it up on the second hop. Could have gone 6-4-3 on that one. Could have turned it.
Already has a interception return for a touchdown in this ball game, Griffin. So now the Vikings with the football at the St. Louis 49. Toby Gerhart. Minnesota will try to pound it.
Get the sense they'd like to finish this off without bringing Adrian Peterson back. You know, well over 200 yards. They're in a pretty good spot now with the 2-touchdown lead. 4 minutes to go in the clock ticking with ball.
Peterson, big smile on the sideline. Getting closer to that Eric Dickerson record. Jared Allen, fine ball game as well. Michael Jenkins in motion. Gerhart again. And James Laurinaitis with the tackle.
And we saw Brian Robinson next to Jared Allen there with his arm in a sling, which isn't good news for the Vikings. Their starting defensive end. Lost him early, I believe, in the first quarter of this game.
Timeout call by St. Louis. They have 2 remaining, plus the 2-minute warning. As Ponder will chat with his offensive coordinator. And look at that play calling card for Coach Musgrave. That must be the smallest card we've seen in the National Football League. Usually the coaches have the huge cards they put up toward their microphones when they're calling plays.
The biggest one I remember, Sean Payton's, when he was with the Saints. I mean, that thing looked like, if you go to a certain restaurant, it looked like that menu. It just kept, you know, just this huge monster deal. But you're right, it's one of the smaller ones. Kind of reminds me of what Mike Leach operates off of in college. It's a much smaller one. But even for that, even compared to Leach's, that one's big.
And Gerhardt taken down by Chris Long. And Minnesota conservative. They'll punt it away. Another timeout called by the Rams.
You know, Gus, if we're really honest about that play calling sheet for Bill Musgrave, though, it really doesn't need to be that big.
No, not with Adrian Peterson.
I mean, how many do you really need?
And you wonder what's on it. Adrian right, Adrian left, Adrian up the middle.
And you know, play callers always write notes to themselves during games, things they like, they don't like, and what have you, things they need to get back to. Keep giving it to Adrian. It's not that hard.
Wonderful young man, folks. So positive. He's what you want in an NFL football player.
He can easily carry the mantle. You know, wears the shield well, as they like to say.
So Kluwe will send it away. Wobbly kick. Amendola from the 15. The throwback. And a fumble. Josh Robinson fumbled the football. Excuse me, make that Janoris Jenkins fumbling the football on the throwback. We saw Jeff Fisher do that a few years ago with Tennessee.
Music City Miracle. Frank Wycheck throwing it on the throwback. Watch the hit coming backside, though. I think it's Marvin Mitchell. Actually, it was knocked out first before the hit. That's number 34, Andrew Sandeo, who actually caused the fumble, and then there was a big hit on the backside from Marvin Mitchell before the ball was recovered by Mario Hagan.
So the Rams with the football at their own 12, 3:15 to go. Bradford, sideline toss and grab by Gibson at the 30. That'll be a gain of 18, and he's banged up.
That's a pretty throw, isn't it? Look at where this is. Gibson going out, laying out to catch it. Excellent catch. Terrific throw.
Bradford underneath this time, and it's caught by Brian Quick, who had a touchdown in the first half. .242 to go in the fourth quarter. Vikings up 36-22. Been a big day for Adrian Peterson. 24 carries, 212 yards, and an 82-yard touchdown. He also has a 49-yard run. And in this game, it hasn't only been Peterson. They've done a wonderful job on all three sides of the football.
Defensively, took the ball away. Had an interception return for a touchdown by Everson Griffin, the defensive end. We see Peterson a second time this year over 200. Did it against the Green Bay Packers first with 210. Steven Jackson, 10,000 plus yards rushing in his career. Phenomenal accomplishment.
Also, their field goal kicker, Blair Walsh, 5 for 5. Amendola with the grab. A 53-yarder, a 51-yarder, a 50-yarder, a 42-yarder, and a 38-yarder for Blair Walsh, who sets the club record for 50-yard field goals in a season, eclipsing Ryan Longwell's longtime record. He now has 8 50-yard field goals this year, which ties the NFL record as well. Morton Anderson, and Jason Hansen. Bradford chucks it, and he has his man at the 35. Corey Harkey, the tight end.
And that's a big-time catch for Corey Harkey, and I'll tell you why. Coming out of college, you know what the scouting report was? Phenomenal blocker, very questionable hands. Nice catch.
And they go to the tight end again, Kendricks. Rams trying to move it down the field. That should take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go, 36-22. Minnesota, but St. Louis still putting up a fight. Spectacular day for Adrian Peterson last week against the Bears, 154 yards rushing. Today against St. Louis, 212 yards rushing. But these Rams still feel that they have an opportunity, especially with the score right here.
It's almost fitting with the run Peterson has been on. They've just been 3 and 4 during that 7-game stretch. Rams still have a shot if they can score here quickly.
False start, number 66 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's Shelley Smith playing right guard. Jeff Fisher has brought the excitement back to St. Louis Rams football. Yes, a 6-6-1 record. However, in their facility, they are happy to go to work every day, and they know that the future is bright. 1st and 15. Bradford rolls out of the pocket, throws on the run. Incomplete. Darrell Richardson, the intended receiver.
And another measure of what Jeff Fisher has brought to this team. Watch the game last week. You and I watched a good portion of it together against Buffalo. They didn't play particularly well, yet they found a way to win on the road. That was big for them. Today, has it felt anywhere since about the first 10 minutes of this game like they had a chance to win it? Yet if they score here, we're an onside kick away from the Rams having a chance to tie the game.
Bradford underneath the Gibson, and Gibson gets down to the 16-yard line. Aaron Henderson drops him a 7-yard gain. So that will make it 3rd down and 8 at the 17.
And they need to move it along as the clock ticks.
Here's Bradford. Let's see if he'll take a shot in the end zone. No, he doesn't. He drops it off again. And it's Richardson. So that'll make it 4th down and about 3.
That's another example of what good tackling does for you. That tackle there by Greenway.
St. Louis, this is their 3rd. This will be a 30-second
made them
timeout.
use the timeout and stop the clock instead of getting out of bounds and saving it.
St. Louis out of timeouts now with 1:22 to go. Coming into this game, the story was that both these teams' playoff hopes alive, but a do-or-die matchup to keep their postseason hopes going.
Hey, Bob!
36-22, Minnesota. But St. Louis with a touchdown will make this a 7-point game. Here's Bradford. Incomplete on 4th down and 3, and that will do it. Brian Quick, the intended receiver. And I think when Sam Bradford goes back and looks at this tape with his coaches, this last sequence, he will see that he could have managed it a little bit better.
There were shots there that were available that they were unable to get to, unable to complete.
Well, a lot of smiles on the Minnesota sideline and a lot of high fives for that man, Adrian Peterson. As the Vikings take a knee, and Adrian Peterson, 24 carries, 212 yards rushing. As we recap what's taking place.
They thought they had him in check. 8 carries, 8 yards, and then 82 yards later, he was off to the races. Everson Griffin replacing Brian Robinson, a defensive end with the interception and the touchdown. Danny Amendola playing his usual tough, gritty brand of ball. Lance Kendricks with a touchdown catch from Sam Bradford, a Rams team that never quit. But the comeback's going to fall a little bit short despite a valiant effort.
So Adrian Peterson now with 1,812 yards rushing with 2 games left as he chases Eric Dickerson's 1984 record of 2,105 yards. Adrian Peterson, what a day, as the Vikings will win it 36-22. 36-22 the final score. We'll be right back to St. Louis after this.